Okay, it's taking me a while, but but I'm getting through it as much as I can. I have been watching the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay podcast with Amanda Seals on there. As soon as I saw her face, I said, "Oh Lord, how is this going to turn out?" Now, I, even though I came in with the open mind, I do have my biases towards Amanda Seals. Not gonna, but it's but I've watched her. It's just like it's not that this is what I'm hearing. I've actually watched her. I've seen a couple of interviews with her. It's just like she and I'm gonna be straightforward. I'm gonna be straightforward. She looked like she could be a bitch, just straight plain a bitch. Like, and I feel like she knows this, and she's not going to change that at all, right? It's one thing, and she tried to say, "Oh, I talk to you like a teacher talked to a student," or like I've had teachers, like I've had touches. I've, hell, I've even worked with bitches, like women that are total bitches. Like to be mindful, women that are total bitches, they're really easy to work with. Contrary to the people believe, only reason they act like that because they feel like they have to because they're especially they feel like they're in a environment that's mostly run by men, and a lot of men is not going to give you their credit because they think you slurped your way to the top, so they have to act extra bitchy just to make sure you get your shit done. So it's just like if they don't like me, but as long as the shit get done, that shit get. But here's the thing about women that are kind of like bitches like that. If you do your job and every time they see you do your job and you don't really give them problems, they'll ease up on you. And then, like, if you show them that you are capable of your work, all right, look, I'm not intimidated by you. You your boss. Whatever you need me to do, I got you. Like that, you basically be that go to guy. Now the thing is, like, sometimes they'll still try to throw their bitches on you. Sometimes you do gotta check them, but you check them professionally. It's just like because probably someone pissed her off or some shit like that. It's just like, and then they'll. It's like let's say you're late on something. It's just like, and they try to like scold you or something like that. It's like, yo, you know me professionally, and this is, and I've done this professionally. But don't do that. You know me. You know what I was, especially you know my situation. You know what I was doing. You know that every time you see them, I pull it. Don't pull that shit. All right. Like this, I tell people there's professional ways to check your people because people forget. Cause and maybe just I was in the Navy because I had to do it a couple times, but it's just like yo, you know what I can do, you know what I bring to the table. Don't do that. So, um, but there are people who's just like they just like you just want to stay away from them because you don't like their vibe, you don't like their aura, some shit like that. That's how I feel about when I see one of the man sales. Now like look, I'm not there for obviously I'm not there for any of that. I'm not there, but there's patterns there when I look at Amanda Seals, and one of the patterns is it's just that everybody don't like you. Everybody so either you're playing the victim, or it's just that you're doing something that getting people to turn you off. Now the thing with the Issa Rae, like I haven't even got to that part where she's just like on technically, but I see the snippets of it. Well, here's what I realized that Issa Rae is an awkward black woman. She's that's the first thing you notice about Issa Rae, and I say this positively. She's an awkward black woman, and that's just her personality. Most awkward black women don't know how to handle situations, and that's fine. And if like she looked like she just want to do her work and then just go about her business. That's kind of like how awkward black women work. I've been around those. It's just like when it comes to like having to do with confrontation, they usually have someone else that's more confrontational handle their confrontations. They don't really want to be in the shit. They just want to do their job and go about their business. So when I guess Amanda Seals and Issa Rae's HR department or HR manager or PR person. PR person was having a little, and Issa Rae was like, "Y'all handle this. Y'all two grown women." That's was like Issa Rae did the wrong thing because it's just like y'all both work for me. You should you need to be in the middle of this, and you need to be the one to nip it in the butt. And I've told people this too because it's just like um I had, or at least I tried to learn. Tell my friend, one of my homegirls. God bless her. So her name is Selena. Um, and she's a quiet little black girl. A little awkward, but she's very pretty. But she knows her shit. She's a great writer, right? Great writer, and she always, and without saying something, she always had this like conversation with this one person, and all that other stuff. And I was just like, yo, you gotta, you gotta nip that shit. And I remember telling her sometimes you gotta nip that shit in the butt, or she's gonna take advantage of you. And like because since I had to work on a project where like the person that she was doing it, it was an older person, but you could tell like she was trying to, I don't want to say manipulate Selena, but it's just one of those things where like it was out of her way or the highway, and because she tried to use her age, it's like she's older, she know better, she know more, some shit like that, and it's just like, it ain't gonna happen. Because I remember like I did damn it, when I was doing Damn It Rodney, and she was like, oh, I wanted the book or something like that, and it was my book, and I put the portfolio together. I was like, that's not happening. Like that shit don't work on me. So, but anyway, uh, yeah, but someone like an Issa Rae, it's not sometimes like awkward people in general. They don't want to. It's hard to be in a leadership position, and for them, it's like because they don't really want to deal with people. They just want to do their job, right? But there comes a time to a point where you have to deal with people. You have to deal with egos, and you're gonna have to be in the ring for it. Either you hire somebody. So what did they do is they either hire somebody to do their job for them, or they end up doing the job. Most people like they hire the job for it, which is why we have HR departments. If people don't understand that, that's why HR departments are a thing. They handle this shit. That's their job. Um, but as far as the Amanda Seals, it's just like the whole one thing that kind of threw me off was the whole autism talk. Now I have a brother, little brother, mildly autistic, and I understand not everybody is autism is being on the spectrum is like real different. There's no one way to find it out. There's different ways to find it out. I understand that. But there's some people you kind of like, you can look at it, you can tell like, oh, this person's on the spectrum. Like it's like some is heavier, some is like more noticeable. I know Asperger's is like a thing or some shit like that, but um, I will. This is a me thing, and if this is a problem, you call me out on it. Usually, because I have a little brother that's mildly autistic. Usually, when other people like they try to say they're autistic, I kind of side eye them because you kind of know what one look like, and like even like my best friend, his daughter is autistic, and you can tell. Like she still functions well, but you can tell like she was on the spectrum and all that other stuff, right? So when I see grown adults, it's just like, oh, it's my Asperger's or some shit like that, and I was like, that's why I act like this, and I'm like, sometimes I just side eye them because even with my little brother, I told him he may be autistic, but he can be a jerk sometimes. My little brother can be a jerk, can be a little asshole, and some people just like, oh, that's just who he is. It's just like, nah, that little brother, like, don't let him fool you. He can be an asshole. He's smarter than you. He's smarter than he leads on. Like he's smarter than he leads on. I've always said that. It's the boy, the boy will play you like a fiddle if he really and will let you get away with this shit. Now, Amanda Seals. Amanda Seals. There's a lot of things that if you know her background, a lot of that shit did sound like bullshit to me. It's just like, and also, I want to talk about Shannon Sharp's part on this because if you just go through clips, it is just like it seems like, and the first time I seen it, my shout outs to B, she gave me the little snippets things on the Shade Room, and she was telling her stories. Now Shannon Sharp obviously was playing devil's advocate. And here's the thing about playing devil's advocate. You can't do it too much of you can't do it too much, or it just seems like you're annoying, and But as a journalist or someone that's having a conversation interview, you kind of like have to play the devil's advocate just to get to the deeper things because sometimes a lot of people's answers can be very vague, and it's just like, what did he do? Or say you just, or if you like, especially like people say you throw racism in there, or he's being racist. What did he do that was racist? And then like you have to like bug it. And some people they don't like explaining it because it's just like want you to take their word for it. And it's not that they don't want to believe you, but it's just like what did he do that's racist? And depending on where, and honestly, depending on where you're from, some people they'll just like that don't sound racist. And then some people will be like, yeah, that's why microaggressions. Like white people, they don't understand microaggressions, but black people we do understand microaggressions because we do see it. You got like when you explain microaggressions to a white person or some shit like that, they'll fight you. It's just like, oh, he's just like that and something like that. He's just that's just who he is. And it's just like, oh no, he a little racist or some shit like that. And you try to tell people like that, and it's just like, and because of those, you see those microaggressions. Some people will understand, some people don't. So I didn't have a, and I thought, and as far as me looking at this, because it made Shannon Sharp look like she didn't believe that Shannon didn't believe anything that Amanda Seales was saying, and I just thought he was just trying to question her, and then like anything he felt like something was off, he questioned deeper, which is what you're supposed to do, because I'm not just going to take your word for it. I need to get some information, and if I don't feel like I'm satisfied enough, I'm gonna just dig deeper until I finally get what I feel like I can get out of it. So um, that's what Shannon was doing. In my opinion, that's what Shannon was doing. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, you just no one listens to black women and all that other stuff." And she was getting physically frustrated, and like he had his point. He was trying to throw his point out. He was like, maybe it was really like this. Maybe you just looked at it as racism. And I'm gonna tell you this: black women don't like that because it feel like because they feel like no one is listening to her, and deep deep misogyny, some stuff like that. And it's just, oh, you're just not. I'm telling you this happens, and then I feel like I'm not getting validated, or you're just trying to invalidate me, or some shit like that. And it's really not. It's just like that's not it. It's just like, as men, we, and we're fixers. Is obviously we're fixers. We want to get to the bottom of it. If we get to the bottom of it, we're going to try to fix it. Or maybe you just look at, oh, we'll just tell you, maybe it wasn't like that. Maybe you just look at the other thing. Black women hate that. They hate it, especially if they went through it. And like I do get that because sometimes, like I said, playing the devil's advocate, it's okay to play the devil's advocate, but you can't do it too much because then it feels like I have to explain myself, and we've all been there. You have a story that is just like, if I tell you this, you wouldn't believe me. You had to literally be there. And it's one of those, and like everybody has a story like that. So even with Amanda Seales, like the teacher didn't like it because of racism, and they live in Florida or some shit like that. It's just like, you know what? I just probably had to be there. And so it was like, it's not that I don't believe it. It's just like maybe I just had to be there to see it. It was just like the '80s and racism in Florida, and I don't want, like I said, even then, like I came in with an open mind. It's just like, because I don't want to disparage. I don't want to be one of the dudes that's just like, oh, she's a liar or some shit like that. But it's obviously with the patterns, like the whole Floetry thing. That's on both ends, and I'm going by what Amanda's on both ends. That should have never been a thing. Amanda should have never been in that group. Floetry broke up, and then you didn't tell nobody that they broke up. Y'all should have never did the tour. You should have just canceled the tour. But I understand, like, people get their money. You don't get. You You don't do that. You know, tell people expecting the two main people with Floetry, and you get Amanda Seales. It's just like, who the fuck is this? And then like she got she gotta win the peoples over and all that other stuff. Is just like that. And that one I do believe. I can't believe that because it's like Marsha, because Marsha Ambrosius did do a solo career. Because Marsha Ambrosius did do a solo career. Obviously, she did this, and the other half of Floyd Tree, I ain't never heard from her since. So, um, so that one it was just like okay, that's a believable story. And then that one didn't seem so far fetched either. It was like the whole her and Sirius satellite radio, and like she was with a dude that was just like corporate only, and was like I'm 21 and all that other stuff. That one's just like. Like I've been around corporate people. You know, you've been around corporate people, and it's just like that's probably like I feel like some things were just over exaggerated. I don't want to call her a liar. I just feel like some things was just over exaggerated. And it's like maybe he was a jerk to it. I don't know. It's just like she's 21. And everybody knows that 21. We feel like the world is after us and some shit like that. Um, I just I'm going to finish the whole thing, but it's just like I'm not gonna lie. Some stuff I'm uh, like I give the yeah I see the I Love Lucy face where she like it's just like I have that face. There's some shit I just side eye and um I do think yeah, and then it's like judging with their history because like I said, this got to be this like because we all know about the Emmy party that she was kicked out of, and then this is what I'm hearing. Everywhere she goes, she is not liked. I said this, and then it's just like it can't be just you or you being an outspoken black woman because I think Whoopi Goldberg is an outspoken black woman, and people like Whoopi. I feel like like maybe it's just like she could probably be a bitch or it's like difficult to work with, or maybe it's just like she probably calling people racist. My thing is she probably called people racist and people just like I'm not racist and white people just don't know how to handle. And I do think and I am a firm believer that some white people do not know how to handle a black woman's attitude. Like a black man know how to handle a black woman's attitude, but a lot of white people do not know how to handle an attitude of a black woman. I believe that it's because like a lot of white and maybe this is just me. A lot of women are docile. A lot of white women are docile when it comes to things. They'll and black women they'll fight you. Let's just say that they'll fight you. Not maybe if not physically, then with words they will fight you. Especially when they feel like they're getting cheated out of bullshit, they will fight you. So it's the I tell people like I said, um, and I think that's a good. And as black women, I do think that's a good thing that y'all fight because some people sometimes you as black people we take it to the chin. As black men, I always say this: as black men, sometimes we take shit to the chin. We just don't need to. And black women, sometimes when they know they're getting bullshitted, they're just like, "Oh hell no, I'm not taking that." And I feel like that's why I feel like black men and black women need each other because sometimes we do take shit and we take shit we shouldn't take. I've always said that about our people, especially black men. But you know, there's always black men that's just like, nah, I'm not taking that. But in order for but black women, there's just like when they feel like you fucking them over, you will hear them. So overall, I'm still going. Like I said, I'm halfway through. I'm still going to get through most of it. Hopefully, I get through the Issa Rae because it's just like I was. But this is when I tell people, well, like this is what I want to tell people. If you're just watching the snippets through like the Shade Room or one of the shades, it makes Shannon look bad. That's the only reason. That's one of the few reasons why I wanted to watch the full thing because Shannon, it was some things he agreed with her. He was just like, or he was just like on her side. It wasn't like Shannon was just like arguing at every point. There was times Shannon was on her side. It was just like, and then maybe she couldn't articulate things, and Shannon just made it real simple. And it was just like, yeah, like Shannon, like people like do Shannon think. No, I think Shannon was fine. I think what Shannon did was cool, and it's just like, but and then she was like, oh, he didn't do that with other people. I said, He wasn't as combative with you. Wasn't as combative. Like not even Monique. Monique was explaining her stuff. It's like it wasn't even that combative, and and also Monique. She and us because a lot of people say this because it's just like, oh, it seems like you treat me different. Like Monique said, I got evidence. You showed me the tapes. It's just so you don't think I'm just blabbing out. It's just I got the shit that a lot of people it's like you know what I'm saying. This is like she got the tapes, she got the files, she had the files to back up her point. So she didn't look so crazy. A lot of that shit is just like and a lot, even with Cat, like he was like, oh, he didn't go off on Cat Williams. It's just like I think he questioned a couple of that. He was like, "Oh, come on, Cat." You know, like him too. Like, "Oh, come on, Cat." It's just like he was doing that. That was the other part that people was forgetting that he was. "Oh, come on, Cat. Come on, Cat." Him too. You know, like because Cat was going at everybody. Um, how can I? And you like, I'm gonna watch the full video. Because I think me and B was supposed to talk about it, but this is what I just want to get my thoughts on this so far. And right now, yeah, most of the stuff I would give her the side eye on, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, um, but this is what I get when I'm looking at it. But let me know what y'all think. Till then, my name is Eskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.